r/ask Reddit. Reddit. What do you wish was more socially acceptable? Leaving work when the work is done. Ducking please. So many people work late by me and it makes them look like workhorses while in actuality they are terrible at time management. Get your shit done. Go have a life. And screw the glares you get for walking out at a reasonable time. Yeah, I leave at 5:30 on the dot most days. There have been a few days where I am a little late but never after 6. Other people have stayed till 8. And I get looked down on because of it. But I am early every day when most others are late, so I couldn't care less. Out of curiosity, what field do you work in? I'm in an industry where I can regularly get my work done by 3 if I work steadily most days. But a big part of my job is being available if people call. Granted, I have a pretty decent amount of freedom in that I'm not glued to my desk and I can walk around and talk if I'm not busy. I just don't understand what fields there are that people are staying longer than they need to without just being lazy throughout the day. Saying I like you, but I'm actually really tired right now and not looking for a conversation. That poor cat. I once surprised that cat in the act of tugging my wallet out of my work pants pocket. Not sure if this fits, but it would be nice for everyone to be more accepting that sometimes shit happens and it's out of our control. This mostly applies to work school. I know people who have been punished for minor things like calling in sick, having car trouble, getting caught in unexpected traffic, etc. When I was in school, I even had a professor who said evacuating for Hurricane Irma would be counted as multiple unexcused absences, and missing more than 3 days would result in an automatic failure. Just be more understanding. Bet that went down well with the students. LOL. Oh yeah, I know at least a few of them posted the email he sent on the university Facebook page. A day after the university ended up closing down for a week when the hurricane started heading directly towards our city. So at least he didn't get to follow through with his threats. LOL. I hope the university docked his pay for not showing up to work unexcused. Giving money as a present. I got bills to pay. I can't pay them with an Amazon gift card. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing on this world for free. I need to stop getting needlessly excited for Borderlands 3. I'm really into laying down on the ground floor. I stopped giving ducks about that. Recently spent 14 hours waiting for a friend to get out of surgery. Duck those waiting room chairs. I was laying on the floor. By the time I left, I had other people doing the same. Comfy and an effective protest. Nice. Midday nap at work. So many times I'd just love to put my head down on my desk for 15-20 and just doze for a quick refresher, but it would look like I'm blowing off work. I mean, most jobs do allow you 15-minute breaks, especially if you're a smoker. It's just a matter of finding a place to sleep. I used to take my half-hour lunch and sleep in my car. This, however, only really works if it's not 1000 degrees out, or you work nights. Being completely honest and upfront on a first date so no one wastes any time getting attached and hurt if one thing that might not come up for a long time would destroy how you feel about one another. I've got a short list of things that are potential deal breakers that I always try to slip into conversation on a first or second date. I don't want to waste their time or get hopes up on either side if those things are an automatic no from the start. What are your first date deal breakers? Someone make this a thread. I'm too lazy. The fame is yours. When I went on the first date with my now husband, I flat out told him that I was looking for a serious relationship that would lead to marriage and kids. And if that's not what he was looking for, we could end it now. No hard feelings or any of that stuff. Employees telling a-hole customers that they're a-holes. One time one of my co-workers told a customer they were being too rude and she wasn't gonna serve them, and they kept pushing it and she snapped and told them to duck off. Was pretty funny. I used to be a host at Buffalo Wild Wings and one of the servers asked me to watch this table of teenage boys because he thought they were going to dine and dash. Well, they tried, but I stopped them and one of their friends that had left came back and paid for them. Well, they came back multiple times after this incident and every time they were rude and never tipped. And I felt bad, but the same server got them every time. After like the third time they got no service and they kept asking everyone for refills. The entire staff knew who they were, so everyone ignored them. It was pretty satisfying until my manager got refills for them. But I don't think he really had a choice. Eventually the server that kept getting them emailed their coach because he knew they were on the basketball team and they stopped coming in. Not employees telling the a-hole customers they're a-holes, but close enough. Going to the movies alone. It's wonderful. This is one of those things where people think that other people care, but nobody actually gives a shit. Working a job that is considered low at skill, having a bachelor's degree. I have a good degree and bartend. When people find out they always ask, why are you bartending if you went to college, or what do you plan to do next? Like they look down on me for a choice I make. I make good money, have health insurance, and work 32 hours a week. It's not a bad lifestyle if you think about it. Used to work at a bar in college, unfortunately wasn't able to make it to bartender, but the hours were rough. It really puts you on a different schedule from regular 9-5 workers. While I don't work in the service industry, I do work night shift. Some people really look down on you for working nights, which I don't get. Someone has to. You have an issue and need it fixed before people are coming in on days. Sure, I'll get it done. Same person ends up calling at 2 PM, which is right in the middle of my deep sleep, and beaches that they can't get a hold of me. Well shit son. You can have one or the other, can't have both. Talking about your salary. Keeping that shit quiet doesn't benefit anyone but the people signing the paychecks. This is true for work, but between friends I disagree. Make decent coin and started telling friends when asked my wage. Has def changed how they perceive me? Few have tried to take advantage. Paternity leave. My wife just had a child and I had to take vacation time for the days we were in the hospital. Expected to be back in the office immediately upon release from the hospital. My company, Fortune 500, just last week announced 1-month child bonding paid leave for moms and dads. Moms that give birth get 6 more weeks at 80% pay. Same benefit for adoption. 2. This a week after we found out my wife is pregnant. We cried over the good news. I think some companies are figuring this out. There is hope. Adults having toys. Not like sex toys. I mean, I'd like to sit down and play with some ducking Legos every now and then. Honestly, being a single father of 2 girls, if I tell someone that, they usually react as if I just told them I have highly contagious airborne gonorrhea of the ass. It's socially acceptable to be a single mother, being seen as being empowered even, but not a single father. As much as I love my mother, my dad was a huge influence on my life. Since they were divorced and he never remarried, he received a lot of criticism from the other moms at my school. Even though most of them left him out, he showed up to all the parties and was super friendly and helpful. He would always say he was a bad father, but he was the best dad any child could ever have. My mom's best friend to this day swears there was no better father than my dad. Hearing that from someone who sided with my mom meant a lot. So despite those looks and comments and misconceptions, keep being the super dad that you are, because your girls know you're the best. You are doing your part as a single dad to prove to those people that dads are amazing parents to their daughters. Being able to discuss religion and politics without turning it into an opinion war. Enjoying alone time. Seriously, what is up with everyone telling you should meet people more often? I am not depressed or lonely. I like myself. Period. Oh god, this. Most of my friends are friends from work. I see them 5 days a week, then come Friday they'll push me to spend a day hanging out and spending money. I'm not in high school anymore. I can't spend a day, nor do I want to, just lazing around doing nothing. If I do want to laze around, I just plain want to be alone while doing it. The weekend is 2 days out of the week where I can be alone with my thoughts and collect myself. But for some reason I have to provide an excuse for not wanting to hang out every single weekend. Not inviting literally everyone in your entire family to your wedding. And ducking graduation. I wanted to spend my time with my amazing mom, and only my mom, who I love more than anyone. And then my grandmother got to know the exact time of graduation and made dinner and made almost everyone in the family know it. After it I had to invite every damn family member, otherwise I would have been considered rude. For women drinking alone in a bar. I never see any woman do this, and when I do it, people assume that I am there to find someone. I don't know where you live, but I would feel really uncomfortable drinking alone at a bar by myself as a woman in the city I live in. I generally refuse to live in fear and believe that bad things will happen to me. But I'm not about to drink alone at night without at least one friend for safety. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but I think it's less of a socially unacceptable thing and more of a safety thing. Taking a year or two before applying to college, or not going at all. I feel like a lot of people subconsciously look down on people for not getting a degree, and the pressure young people experience ends up forcing them to make bad decisions, like getting extreme debt for a degree they'll never use. I've been making a conscious effort to ask high school juniors, seniors, do you know what you're doing after high school? Instead of what colleges are you looking at? I tutor high schoolers. I completely agree. College isn't necessary for a lot of careers, and making it the default wastes time and money for a lot of people. Making emergency clothing adjustments. I know it looks bad, but what's worse? Me dealing with it now or just letting it drop to my ankles? Duck off. I don't know what that last part means, but I for one am very sick of dealing with riding up underwear pinching my ballsack and being unable to adjust without women noticing. Commando. Problem solved. Mental health sick days. Yes, even sick days in general. Where I work, any call-in for any reason is one step closer to a first write-up. It only takes 2 or 3. Dressing up as a knight and running around the street calling people a heretic. Men enjoying girly things, like fruity umbrella drinks and fancy strawberry lotion and such. I got my boyfriend a bouquet of roses once and he was genuinely touched, and said no one has ever gotten me flowers before. I mean seriously, who made up the rule that men can't enjoy pretty things, tastes and smells? The girl drink thing is absurd to me. I drink a man's drink, like beer. Well, you're drinking bitter barley juice at 5% alcohol content, while I'm here getting hammered on 5 different kinds of 80 proof that also tastes like pineapples. I objectively have the superior option. My cat will just lock his legs and then keels over and plays dead if he wants to get out of a situation. Also hides under cupboards and couches when he meets new people. Cats do a lot of things that humans cannot because they're restrained by social convention. Admitting one's own ignorance. Western society at least seems to prize acting as if you know everything that's going on, even if it's almost certainly not true. On the other hand, I've had genuine issues with people questioning my intelligence because I had the audacity to ask a clarification question. Wearing cloaks. I can see this actually happening, but with a high fashion twist, and I'm through down. 2019? We just need to get everybody on Reddit to agree to start wearing cloaks and it'll be probably less cool than it is now. Never mind. Periods. I hate how I feel a need to hide any and all signs that I'm on my period from the world. I'm tired of having to plan out how I'm going to change my tampon at work without my co-workers knowing. I stopped hiding it because their discomfort is their problem, not mine. I have no problem stopping to talk to someone on the way to the bathroom with a tampon in my hand, not up my sleeve. I think that the more of us that stop hiding it, the less taboo it will be. I've honestly found that most people don't care past the initial "that's unusual" glance and then they move on from it. Some people may get upset, but I don't even hide them in my classroom. I teach kindergarten and I have no time to go hiding my tampon as I walk to the bathroom, because I have about 30 seconds to get in and out so they're not unsupervised. None of the kids care. Most don't know what it is. There's nothing sexual or dirty about periods, so it shouldn't be something we need to intentionally hide from them. Starting conversations with strangers. We did it as kids in school all the time. Why do we have to be so awkward now? It's almost expected in the South. Not Florida, though nobody in Florida is from Florida. Calling people dunce in the US. Being single. People seem to have this idea that just because someone is single they must not be happy. Sometimes people just don't want to be in a relationship at the time, and more people should be okay with that instead of saying stuff like, "I'm sure you'll find someone," or trying to set you up. Wish my friends would try setting me up. It's a struggle to find dates at all. I miss how when we were kids we could just be friends with anyone, and how open we were. Now we put up walls and there are labels and presumptions, like how people insist men and women can't be friends and stuff like that. Indiscriminate friendliness, I guess. Mental illness is a reason for needing time off, especially when you're not yet suicidal but on the border. It's never seen as a legitimate reason unless you've made a suicide attempt, and even then a lot of people will still dismiss it as being an attention horse. Being in the middle of a crisis should be a legitimate reason to call in sick. Getting that time off could mean the difference. Working to live instead of living to work. It seems like so many people have the mentality that you have to be 1000% committed to the company and your co-workers. Forge relationships. Go for drinks. Company picnic. I like most of my co-workers, but we tend to have little in common. Between that and fairly full social and family life, I just don't have time for social gatherings that never get past small talk. I want to put in my day, go home, and not have to think about work until the next morning. Man purses. I've got a lot of shit to carry nowadays. A bag I could sling around my shoulder would be really convenient. Fixing your balls when they get bunched in public. Yes, ladies. It looks gross, I am sure, but it is no different from you adjusting your bra and boobs when things get off balance. Having a beer before noon. It's not often, but sometimes when I have a day off I just wanna have a beer at like 10 AM, okay? Jeez. Employers being more open-minded about people with tattoos and piercings. Honestly, why do you care? I ducking kick ass at my job. How does someone seeing the mandala on my foot affect my job performance? Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.